Well, good evening and welcome to this week's news programme. Hopefully everything's working fine and you can hear me and see me and everything, and hopefully we'll be free of technical problems this evening. Well, in the news this week, Dorset Police have reported an assault on a woman in Weymouth and are appealing for any witnesses to come forward. At around 8:45 on Thursday the 10th of December, Dorset Police was called to reports that an assault had occurred on the Dorchester Road. The victim, a local woman aged in her 20s, was walking along the road when a man allegedly got out of a car, grabbed her and punched her in the stomach. The man is reported to have got back into his grey Volkswagen Golf car and driven away. A 35-year-old local man was arrested on suspicion of assault and has been released on police bail pending further inquiries. If you've got any information at all about this incident, please contact Dorset Police on 101 or anonymously via Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. Dorset County Hospital has been given an extra £2.4 million of funding to carry out crucial maintenance work. It'll be used to fund a new fire alarm system, new lifts, new chillers and LED lighting throughout the hospital. Dorset County Museum has been awarded £187,000 capital kickstart grant as part of the government's £1.57 billion Culture Recovery Fund, enabling the organisation to push forward with the Tomorrow's Museum for Dorset project, despite the financial challenges caused by the COVID-19 crisis. Dorset County Museum is one of 74 organisations receiving grants totalling £58.9 million. The Capital Kickstart Grants programme helps organisations cover costs added to capital projects such as building works and refurbishment, etc., due to the pandemic-related delays or issues. Since 2018, the builders, architects, electricians, gallery designers and curators have been working hard, bringing together new, reimagined and inspirational galleries which will collectively tell the story of 250 million years of Dorset's history and display collections of national and international significance. COVID-19 has dramatically affected the progress during 2020 for obvious reasons, with builders and staff following social distancing and lockdown rules. This has set the reopening back until late 2021 and has also meant the costs to bring the new museum up to standard have increased. If you've got school-age children, the deadline for school places is fast approaching. Each year, those going to a new school or transitioning from infants to junior schools have to apply for a place in the next school, and the closing date is the 15th of January. The admissions pages on the Dorset Council website give you all the information you need in order to apply. You can also check out the Parents Guide for information about different types of schools and how to apply to the different types of schools. Councillor Brian Quell, a lead member for education at Dorset Council, has reminded parents that unfortunately any applications that are received after the 15th of January, or if parents forget to put an application in, they won't be considered until the late rounds in spring. So it means that all the places will be allocated, and then if there's places left you might be lucky. Now I know this is a particular problem certainly in WykeRegis with the transition from WykeRegis infant school to WykeRegis junior school, because some parents think it is one school but it is two schools, and to transition from the infant school and get a place at the junior school you have to apply the same as anybody else, so please don't forget to do that. If you've got any questions on the school's admission process or the forms, you can call the admissions team on 01305 221060. That's 01305 221060. Another NHS story. The NHS in Dorset has started to vaccinate people against the COVID-19 virus at Dorset County Hospital from this week. The Dorset Health and Care System has been working closely together on plans for some time to prepare and plan for the COVID-19 vaccine rollout. And NHS staff worked through last weekend to prepare for the launch of the programme this week. GPs and other primary care staff in Dorset are also planning to start delivering the vaccine very shortly, and as soon as further supplies of the vaccine are available, then that work will start. Under a phased rollout, people aged 80 and over, as well as care home workers, will be amongst the first to receive the vaccine, along with NHS workers who are at high risk from COVID-19. Dr. Karen Kirkham, who's the GP clinical lead for Dorset COVID-19 vaccination programme, said that Dorset Health and Care System has been working closely together on plans for some time, and that sets us up really well to deliver the biggest vaccination programme in NHS history to the people of Dorset. This is a huge task, and all partners in Dorset will play an important part in making this happen. The important thing to note is that the NHS will contact you when they've identified you as a priority to be offered the vaccine first. Please do not go to your hospital or GP surgery or contact them about the vaccination. Just wait for them to contact you. Whilst we're still talking about doctors and GP surgeries, a national survey has revealed the best GP practices in Dorset, according to the Patient's View. Patients at surgeries across the county and, in fact, across the country were asked to rate their overall experience of their GP practice on a scale of very good, fairly good, neither good nor poor, fairly poor, and very poor. Across the region, the average score was slightly above the national average for overall experience at the GP practice. On average, 88% of patients across all Dorset surgeries described their overall experience as good or better, compared to the national average of 82%. In Weymouth and Portland, one practice, which is Crossroads Surgery, featured in the top 10 surgeries in the county. So well done to Crossroads Surgery. New cycle lanes have been installed on a key Weymouth town centre road following the removal of the old railway lines. As part of the work to resurface Commercial Road, 2 on-road cycle lanes, one on each side of the road, have now been introduced. Dorset Council say this is in a bid to encourage people to cycle more and to help facilitate cycling where traffic volume and speeds are relatively low between Weston Bridge and Lower St Albans Street. Further proposed cycle links in the town centre, which will require legal orders to introduce, will be consulted on early in the new year, and the idea is obviously to link them up as time goes on. Back to Dorset Police again, and turning back to a story that we covered last week actually. Dorset Police are warning people across the county about a warning of a delivery scam in the run-up to Christmas. Fraudsters have been sending emails out of the blue claiming to be from the post company DPD. They are using several subject lines to get people onto the email, including "we tried to deliver your parcel but you weren't in," and there was no safe place to leave it. Just be very, very wary if you get any notifications from any parcel company and you are not expecting a delivery from them. There are loads of them around. And following on from that, there is also a phone scam that Dorset Police are warning about as well. And we did mention this phone scam last week. Officers are calling on the public to remain extremely vigilant after another elderly couple locally were conned out of handing over savings to fraudsters in West Dorset. Dorset Police have received a number of calls over recent days of fraudsters attempting to convince residents across the west of the county to withdraw money from their banks and hand it over for safekeeping. In each case, the con men tells victims that they are from the police force and that their bank accounts have been compromised. A man and woman living in Bridport lost a total of £10,700 on Wednesday to fraudsters in this sort of incident. Another incident where substantial money was lost occurred on Thursday as well, with a couple aged in their 70s, with a call from a man of an unknown number who said he was a detective inspector, and a woman working for their bank was being investigated after being found with £11,000 cash on her. The caller told the couple to go to their bank, withdraw 2 amounts of £3,000 to see if the notes were counterfeit, and once home to tell him the serial numbers to see if they were fraudulent. Of course, when they told the caller the serial numbers, they were told that the notes were counterfeit and that the caller would send somebody round, a courier round, to pick them up to take them back to the bank. Of course, and then they weren't counterfeit at all, and the individuals lost their money. So please be aware. Please, if you've got relatives who are vulnerable, make them aware. Banks and police do not ring up and ask you to withdraw money and then send couriers round to pick it up. Nobody will ask you to withdraw any money from your bank. So please don't withdraw any money. Do not give your PIN number over. Do not give any information over the telephone. And just be very, very wary at this time. Okay, well, that's our headlines for today. Today, with Christmas only a couple of weeks away, and it is fast approaching for all of us, let's hope you are prepared for Christmas. We're starting to get prepared here. It's a very Christmas-focused programme tonight. So let's hope after the years that we've had that it will be a time for joy and happiness, even if this year it is a bit different. And I know that so many different organisations are trying their best to make Christmas special this year against all the difficulties that we've got. So, of course, I know a question you are all out there wanting to know the answer to. Yes, it's that question we ask every year. Will we get a white Christmas this year? Well, we're going to pop over to the Met Office for an extra visit tonight, and we're going over to the Weather Studio live, and we're going to join Alex and Aidan for a 3-minute Met Office briefing on whether we will get a white Christmas this year. So over to Alex and Aidan.
Welcome to 3-Minute Met, and this time we're going to be talking about white Christmases. Everything you need to know about white Christmases. Let's take it away. 3, 2, 1. Let's start with the definition. What is a white Christmas? Well, officially, for a white Christmas to be defined, all you need is one snowflake to be spotted in a particular location during the 24 hours of Christmas Day. And that might be Buckingham Palace, or it might be other parts of the UK, depending on where you fancy placing a bet.
Let's tell you, because over the last 60 years, 80% of Christmases have been white across the UK, but that just is one flake in one location, as Aidan has just said. If you narrow it down to an individual place, then, well, those statistics really drop down. So take Edinburgh and Belfast, only 18% of the last 60 years have been white. London, that percentage drops further, only 10%. And get this, in London, there hasn't been a white Christmas this millennia. It hasn't happened since 1999. The percentages dropped further. For Cardiff, 7%. There hasn't been a white Christmas, any snow falling across the UK recorded for the past 2 years running. And that's only happened once in the past 60 years. And get this, it's never happened 3 years in a row. So what does that say about this year? The last time it was officially there for a white Christmas in 2017, when around 11% of our observing sites recorded snow. But the last time there was snow lying on the ground was back in 2010. When 83% of our observing stations recorded snow lying on the ground. I remember it well, Aidan.
Yeah, that's right. You might think that white Christmases are becoming less common, but actually they used to be more frequent during a time known as the Little Ice Age. The River Thames froze over once every 10 years or so. White Christmases were more common, but there was another reason they were more common, because in 1752 the calendar changed. Well, that brought Christmas Day earlier in the season, which made it less likely for it to snow.
Okay, let's take a look at the chances for this year. Is it going to be a white Christmas this year? Well, the short answer is it is simply too early to tell. Anyone tells you it's definitely going to be a white Christmas this year, well, they're talking nonsense. It's too early to tell. A timeline for the next few weeks. How about this? Next Wednesday, we'll be doing the 10-day trend, and that will look at, the trends temperature-wise in and around the Christmas period for sure. And then towards the end of next week, as we get towards the 19th, 20th, then we'll have an idea of what the pressure patterns might look like. Because, of course, it doesn't need to just be cold, but you also need moisture for snow. So you need that combination. Then around the 20th, 21st, we should have a decent idea of what we're expecting on the big day itself. And we might then, if it's going to be cold enough, we might then have an idea of areas that could have a white Christmas. But the detailed snow forecast, you're really only looking at a 48-hour lead time. So it's just too early to tell. So the main message at the moment, stay tuned, stay updated. As I said, anyone or anything you read on the internet that says it's definitely going to be, don't believe it for a second. Speaking of seconds, how did we do?
Bang on, 3 minutes.
Ah, boom.
3 minutes. Yeah, we did it.
Oh, sorry, we pressed the wrong button there. So thank you, Alex and Aidan, for that. We'll have to look at the end of the week and a couple of days just before Christmas to find out whether we're actually going to get any snow this year. At Christmas, we all follow a similar pattern. We write Christmas cards for friends and relatives. We put up the Christmas tree. We decorate the house with lights inside or out or both. We buy presents. We sing carols. But have you ever wondered why we do some of these things? In recent weeks, we've looked at some of these traditions. And firstly, tonight, we're going to hear from Janet Hall as to why we put up the Christmas tree.
Hello. I've just finished putting up the Christmas tree, and it certainly brings a bit of joy and colour to the corner of the sitting room. Sometimes I do wonder whether I've overdone the decorating, but the trouble is, every decoration in my box has its own story to tell. There are these bells that are older than me and have always been part of my Christmas ever since I was born. And then there are the ones that we bought with such excitement during the 50s and the 60s, the 70s and the 80s, and there are even some things from the 90s. I have stopped buying now, though. I really haven't got any more space. But the joy of the Christmas tree isn't just in what it looks like. It's in the memories that come with everything that you hang on each bough. When I was a child, nobody used to decorate their house until Christmas Eve. And that was the day when you could bring down all the decorations and start putting things on the tree. By the end of the day, my mother was totally exhausted. So that's why even my traditionally minded family began to put it up earlier and earlier in order to spread the work out a bit. This year, I have excelled myself. But it got me wondering about what the history of the Christmas tree. When did it become popular and why? Many people think that the tradition of Christmas trees in Britain started with the Victorians. This is because Prince Albert and Queen Victoria were very big fans of Christmas. However, the tradition actually dates back even further than that. The reason that fir trees are traditionally used is because they're evergreen, which means they're still bright and green when lots of other leaves have fallen off the trees during the winter. We use a lot of evergreens to decorate our homes during Christmas, like the holly and the ivy and the mistletoe. And this history of doing this goes back to pagan times. It became a symbol of Christ because of its triangular shape, which reminded people of the Trinity. And from then, the idea that it should be a symbol of Christmas started. Germany is credited with starting the Christmas tree tradition as we know it in the 16th century, when devout Christians brought decorated trees into their homes. It's widely believed that Martin Luther, the 16th century Protestant reformer, first added lighted candles to a tree. It was introduced into England during the Georgian period, when King George III was on the throne. The tradition of decorating a tree for Christmas comes from Germany, and he had a German wife called Charlotte, and it was thought she liked to decorate a tree for her family in the 1790s. But Queen Victoria and Prince Albert are said to be the ones that made it extremely popular and fashionable to decorate a tree like the one in the picture. This is why a lot of people think that they started the tradition in Britain. At first, people used to put their trees on tables as they were smaller, but when it became possible to get bigger trees from Norway, they began to put them on the floor with presents underneath. Ever since 1947, Norway has donated a tree to London to say thank you for helping them during World War II. A special ceremony is held in Norway in November when the tree comes down from the forest in Norway. Then it comes over to the UK by sea, being driven to London on a big lorry. And it's then put up in Trafalgar Square in London using a special crane. It's decorated in the traditional Norwegian way, with strings of lights going down the tree rather than crossing over. I'd love to see what your Christmas trees look like. Why don't you take a photo and post it on Facebook, and then we can all enjoy them. Bye for now.
Well, thank you very much, Janet, for introducing us to why we use the Christmas tree. And I'm going to follow on nicely on from that because, of course, our Christmas trees, when we have them at Christmas, have been nicely lit up. But in the last 20 or 30 years, we've moved more to lighting up our whole house with Christmas lights. Some people do this to raise funds for charity or to enter the best lit house competition. But have you ever thought about why we use lights at Christmas? We've heard about the Christmas tree, but why do we use lights at Christmas? And where does it come from? And how has it developed in the way that it has to us these days, lighting our whole houses? Well, I've been out and about looking at Christmas lights, and I'll share my thoughts on this with you now.
Christmas lights, often also known as fairy lights, are used throughout the Christmas season, including Advent, to decorate up a tree or house in celebration of Christmas. The custom goes back to when Christmas trees were decorated with candles, which symbolised Christ being the light of the world. This custom was borrowed from pagan Yule rites that celebrated the return of the light of the sun as the days grow longer after solstice. The evergreen tree symbolising the renewal and continuance of life in dark times. The Christmas trees were first brought into homes by Christians in early modern Germany. Christmas trees displayed publicly and illuminated with electric lights became popular in the early 20th century. By the mid-20th century, it became customary to display strings of electric lights along streets and on buildings, and Christmas decorations detached from the Christmas tree itself. In the United States, it became popular to outline private homes with Christmas lights around the 1960s. By the late 20th century, the custom had also been adopted in other nations, including the United Kingdom, Japan and Hong Kong. In many countries, Christmas lights as well as other Christmas decorations are traditionally erected on or around the first day of Advent. In the Western Christian world, the two traditional days when Christmas lights are removed are Twelfth Night and Candlemas, the latter of which ends the Christmas Epiphany season. Leaving the decorations up beyond Candlemas is historically considered to be bad luck. People across WykeRegis and Weymouth have been putting a lot of effort into adorning their homes with lights this year. This year more than ever, it's good to see the lights brightening up our streets. It's also now commonplace to see families out with their children, in cars or walking around the streets, looking at all the different decorations and the lit houses. So yesterday evening, with camera in hand, I went out on a tour of WykeRegis to see what I could see.
there we go. That's my trip around WykeRegis, or part of WykeRegis, last night. There are so many lights out there, it's actually difficult to know where to go and what to look at. Maybe for next week I'll pop out and I'll take a few more in a different direction. If you've got some lights, as Janet said, we'd love to see pictures. If you've got your houses lit up or you've got your trees decorated up, please pop them up in the Facebook page and share them with us. We would love to see them. We come to that part of the programme where I usually play my dodgy birthday jingle. Now, no my luck tonight, it won't work at all, but let's give it a go and see what happens. Well, we got halfway and then it got stuck. I don't know why it gets stuck, I really don't. One of these days I will find something a bit better. But anyway, most importantly, we've got a couple of people with birthdays coming up this week. First of all, a very happy birthday to Jeff Wheatley, whose birthday comes up this week. And also to Evelyn Fuggle, whose birthday also comes up this week. So to Evelyn and to Jeff, we wish you a very, very happy birthday in this coming week. Our next story this evening follows on nicely from the Christmas trees and the lights. Of course, if we're lighting our houses with lots of electrical lights and candles this Christmas, and we've got lots of decorations in the house, their safety becomes something we really need to think about. Christmas time, more than other times, we've got extra risks in our house. Sadly, there will be fires this Christmas time. Fairy lights will go up in smoke, causing fires, while Christmas trees will catch fire. Decorations and cards will be put too near to sources of heat, and all of these things are responsible, unfortunately, for many house fires each year. With Christmas just around the corner, Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue Service has released some top tips for us all to keep safe this festive period.
Make sure you test your smoke alarm every week. Check that all Christmas lights conform to British standards. Always use a safety trip and turn them off before you go to bed or go out from the house. Many fires start when people fall asleep while smoking, so make sure you extinguish cigarettes properly in an ashtray and don't smoke in bed. Make sure any guests know what to do in the event of an emergency. Do they know where the door and window keys are kept? If you have an open fire or wood burner, ensure your chimney is swept regularly. Never overload electrical sockets, being especially careful with Christmas lights. Place candles in an appropriate holder and away from your Christmas tree, decorations or furnishings, and never leave a burning candle unattended. Decorations can easily burn, so move them away from sources of heat such as lights or radiators. If you're planning on celebrating Christmas or New Year's Eve with fireworks, always store them safely, follow the instructions and keep a bucket of water nearby. Have a bedtime routine. Close all doors and make sure you switch off electrical appliances except the fridge or freezer. And never leave cooking unattended. Let's not burn the turkey. Remember, metallic items cannot go into the microwave, and keep tea towels away from the hob. Kent Fire and Rescue have produced a nice Christmas video called The Christmas Grinch, just to finish off our article tonight.
This Christmas, be smart. Keep safety in mind. You'll thank this reminder. It's about being kind. Keep candles away from things that can burn. Blow them out before bed. That's the lesson to learn. When plugging in lights, electronics or phones, avoid overloading. It could save your home. Keep an eye on the cooking. It's an easy mistake. Just a moment's distraction is all it can take. Toys need new batteries, but not from your alarm. Test them each week. They'll keep you from harm. Without safety in mind, their fun you could pinch, and always you'll be their Christmas Grinch.
There we go. That's some simple advice on safety this Christmas time. Remembering that our Christmas lights and candles, etc., cause heat, and heat near things that burn causes fires. So if we can keep the sources of fuel away from the sources of heat, we will all stay safe this Christmas time. And that's what we want, obviously. Moving on, one of the big things that's going to happen Christmas this year that's quite different to what normally happens is the event that we're organising across WykeRegis called Carols on Your Doorstep WykeRegis. Those of you that have been in Wyke for many years will know that on the last Monday before Christmas, normally a Christmas tree goes up in Wyke Square and hundreds of people squeeze into Wyke Square for mulled wine and singing carols and generally having good Christmas spirit just before Christmas itself starts. And of course within the church itself there will be carol services and the Salvation Army and all sorts of things happening. Well, this year is different. So we wanted to come up with an idea that everybody, whether they're church people or not, whether they want to stay at home safely or whether they go out from home, can all join in. So Carols on Your Doorstep WykeRegis was thought up. And the whole idea is that you can print off a carol sheet from the website that we've set up. You can print off a poster and put in your window. You can print off an invite and put through a neighbour's door or send to a relative or a friend. And then on the night, you can click on the link on that website and join a small socially distanced choir and band who will play live. And it is live. It's not a setup. It won't be recorded. It will be live, played live from All Saints Church out to you, wherever you may be. And we know lots of people from WykeRegis are going to join, but we also know lots of people from elsewhere are joining. We know that a lot of people from the Bridport area are going to be joining us. We know some people from Salisbury are going to be joining us. And we know one person from Canada that's going to be joining us. And we will be publicising it even more this week and pushing it even more. And we would ask you to do that as well. So we hope you're going to join us on the 21st of December. At 7 o'clock, but hopefully we're going to ask you all to promote it as well, because this is truly something that every single person in WykeRegis could join in with, whether they are a family, just a small family unit of 1 or 2 people, or if they're on their own. All they need is a device to receive the carols on, whether it's a mobile phone, an iPad, or a laptop or a computer. So do promote it. So we've produced a little video which you may have seen up on the Facebook group, but we're going to play the video again because it tells you what it's all about.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All things we bring to you one more year. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy.
On Monday the 21st of December at 7 p.m, the organisers of Carols Around the Christmas Tree in Wyke Square, All Saints Church WykeRegis and Weymouth Concert Brass are coming together to organise Carols on Your Doorstep WykeRegis. Whether you're in WykeRegis, elsewhere in Weymouth and Portland or further afield, you'll be very welcome to join in. On the evening, a small socially distanced choir and band who will play live in All Saints Church, and we will live stream the carols out to you so you can receive them on your computer, laptop, pad device or mobile phone. To join in with Carols on Your Doorstep WykeRegis, you can go to our website at www.wykeregis.com, where you can print off a carol sheet. You can also print off a poster display in your window or somewhere else people will see it. Also on the website is an invite that you can print to put through your neighbour's door or to send to friends or family. We really do want to get as many people from the community involved singing from their doorstep this Christmas, so that the carols can be heard throughout the streets across our communities. So please do share this with your neighbours, friends and family wherever they are. As well as the website at www.wykeregis.com, we have set up a Facebook page called Carols on Your Doorstep WykeRegis. Why not go to the page now and like and share it? We hope you will join us for Carols on Your Doorstep WykeRegis on Monday the 21st of December at 7 p.m, and we can all together celebrate the joy of Christmas.
we go. That's Carols on Your Doorstep, WykeRegis, on Monday the 21st of December at 7 p.m. And all the information available on the website www.wykeregis.com or Facebook group Carols on Your Doorstep, WykeRegis. And the little guy with the funny red hat was not Father Christmas. That was Brother Alistair, the rector of WykeRegis, although there's a very canny resemblance to Father Christmas. So, yes, we might have a Father Christmas singing along as well. So let's look at the week ahead now, and let's look firstly at the national weather forecast for the rest of the weekend and the week ahead.
Hello there, it's a picture of sunshine and showers in the west today. Further east it's going to be cloudier, and looking ahead to Sunday we've got some wet and windy weather on the way. For the rest of this afternoon, cloudy skies will linger across eastern parts of the UK with some further outbreaks of rain. The rain could turn heavier over higher ground across the northeast. Further west though, skies should be brighter and we'll see some scattered showers also move in from the west. Through tonight, the rain and cloud in the east will gradually become confined to eastern parts of Scotland, with clear spells forming elsewhere. So for a time, there could be a patchy frost around and a few mist and fog patches too for parts of eastern England. But later in the night, we'll see some wet and windy weather move in from the west. That band of rain and strong winds will quickly move its way eastwards through Sunday morning, so all areas seeing some heavy rainfall through the day on Sunday. It's going to be windy too, particularly in western areas along the coast. We could have some gales. Temperature-wise, it's going to be on the mild side across the southwest, but quite a bit chillier further east. Over the next few days, low pressure stays in charge, bringing spells of wet and windy weather across the country, particularly as we head towards the middle part of the week. It's also going to be on the milder side, so we won't see much in the way of frost and fog. For any more details, you can head to our social media channels. Take care.
I actually think that the national weather forecast very much focuses on what our local weather is going to be like in the week ahead. It is going to be mild this week. Temperatures daytime between 11 and 13 degrees, but it is going to be very unsettled. So we are going to have cloudy days. We're going to have quite a lot of rain, and we will get the odd sunny spell. But it's going to be much milder than it has been for some days in the week that we've just had. We seem to be settling out to this sort of unsettled, sort of wet and mild weather most of the time, don't we? The traditional frosty and cold winter mornings, we don't seem to be getting many of them these days. And looking at traffic and travel, well, there's still work going on Weymouth Harbour side to allow for the removal of the rail tram lines, and obviously the cycle tracks going in as well that we mentioned earlier. Work is also soon going to start in the new year on the south side of the harbour on Nose Parade, and that will be closed for a number of weeks in around about mid-February, we believe. There's various roadworks also going on throughout Westham, doing pipeline for Southern Gas Networks, and that is moving around the Westham area. And of course the works in Old Castle Road are getting underway to shore up the road there. On the trains this weekend, they are severely disrupted. There is a bus replacement service covering between Weymouth, Dorchester West and Wareham, and that is affecting services on both Great Western and South Western trains. Also, throughout the rest of the country, there is a much reduced timetable throughout the network this weekend. So if you're planning to travel anywhere on train, just watch where you're going and see if you can check your journey before starting to travel. At this time in the programme over recent weeks, I've been looking at new movies being released over the Christmas period, but I'm actually running out of new movies that are family friendly. I tried to make sure I'm not covering sort of gory and horror movies, obviously because of the time of day it is, and having to think about being family friendly. And this week I found a movie that actually was released last year in 2019 but doesn't seem to have been widely promoted, and as is being sort of re-released this Christmas and is going to be available on several platforms. It's called Last Christmas, which is quite appropriate, being released last Christmas. It features the music of George Michael of Wham fame, and it stars Emma Thompson, who also wrote the screenplay for the movie. It's got other people like Amelia Clark in it, Henry Golding, Simple Favor, Crazy Rich from Crazy Rich Asians, Michael Yeoh, and the director is Paul Feig. It's a romantic comedy, Last Christmas, with a screenplay by Academy Award-winning Emma Thompson, as we said, who was in Sense and Sensibility, Bridget Jones, etc., and playwright Bryony Kimmings. Kate harumps around London, a bundle of bad decisions accompanied by the jangle of bells on her shoes, another irritating consequence from her job as an elf in the year-round Christmas shop. Tom seems too good to be true when he walks into her life and starts to see through many of Kate's barriers. As London transforms into the most wonderful time of the year, nothing should work for these two, but sometimes you've got to let the snow fall where it may. You've got to listen to your heart. Last Christmas features the music of George Michael, including the bittersweet holiday classic of the film's title. Last Christmas is rated PG, so it's suitable for family viewing. Here's the trailer.
Look, okay, it's not my fault.
I bet nothing's ever your fault, is it, darling?
What?
You have thrown away your life working in some silly Christmas shop.
Baby, don't cry.
Hey, Elf!
This is my little helper.
I have nicknamed her Lazy the Elf because she appears never to work.
Father, don't let Christmas get me out of here.
What?
Jesus, where'd you come from?
Well, what are you looking at?
Might be a falcon.
Oh, damn it.
I think it just pooed in your eye.
Yeah, I think so.
It's good luck, you know.
What is?
Getting pooed on by a bird.
I'm busy, you're weird. Goodbye.
You've missed 5 doctor's appointments. Mum is scared.
So, tell me about sleep.
She never sleeps.
Exercise?
Religiously.
Not at all.
Alcohol?
Oh, she's drinking like the pirate.
Well, okay, fine. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much for your time. Let's go, Mum.
Oh, you! Again.
What do you mean again?
Did you follow me here?
Are elves always so cynical?
Yes, relentlessly. These are dark times.
I'm Tom.
Kate?
Here we are.
Is this the bit where you murder me?
So what is it that you do?
I sing.
Oh, it's amazing.
Anyway, boring.
I'm not bored.
You are so strange. Where are you going?
We're in there.
Well, you're not homeless.
No, I volunteer here.
Why didn't you just get Satan tattooed on your forehead?
You were great at your job when you started, but now it's like you don't care anymore.
Oh, hi.
Can I help?
I'm a mess. I was really sick and I nearly died. I don't tell people because they get weird, but I don't think you'll get weird.
No.
I'm just scared all the time. They just expect me to be normal and get on with life.
There's no such thing as normal. Just being a human being is hard. Maybe you should do something nice for someone.
Deck the halls with bells of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
Oh boy.
I've been volunteering at the shelter.
Seriously?
That sounds like a healthy choice. What's wrong with you?
I've been trying to find you, but you keep disappearing. And then when I do bump into you, accidentally, I might add.
It wasn't accidental.
Why me?
It's always going to be you. You like? You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. You're made of everything you do.
You can't be here!
No, we're leaving!
There we go. That's Last Christmas, a film that was released last year but didn't get much airing, but is about this Christmas and is a good family-friendly film rated PG. So what else is on in the run-up to Christmas? Well, of course, we've talked for many weeks about the pantomime at Weymouth Pavilion, so don't forget that. And if you want information on that or to book tickets, please go along to Weymouth Pavilion website at www.weymouthpavilion.com. But what about if pantomimes aren't your scene? What else is out there? Well, have you looked at the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra's website? They've got 2 Christmas concerts coming up in the week ahead. First of all, on this Wednesday, the 16th, they've got a Baroque Christmas concert at 3 o'clock and again at 7:30 at the Lighthouse at Poole. Well, I'm sure you might say, I don't want to go off to the Lighthouse at Poole. 1, I don't want to travel, and 2, I don't really want to be sat in a theatre with people at the moment. But the good thing with the BSO now is that they are also live streaming all of their concerts. So if you don't want to go along and be there in person, you can join it live from the comfort of your own home. You can pop along to their website at did I write it down here? bsolive.com. The Baroque Christmas features the music of Handel, Vivaldi, Corelli and J.S. Bach, and looks to be quite a nice concert if you'd like to go along. Also on Saturday, that's the 19th, the BSO have got their Christmas Cracker, which is a very more modern Christmas music. Again, that's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 7:30 in the evening, and again you can join that by live stream if you don't want to go along and have tickets at the venue as well. And I know a number of people who have been joining the live stream for the BSO, and apparently it is very, very good. And some people have actually subscribed and bought a season's worth of tickets, so they're actually joining every concert. Also, if you'd like to look at something more national, there's carols at the Royal Albert Hall, and they are going to be daily from the 18th of December through to the 23rd of December, both at 1:30 and 7:30. And again, you can join these either live in person or by live stream as well. So if those don't suit you, why not go onto the internet and have a search? There are loads of concerts going on out there, and of course where the audiences are having to be socially distanced, most of these venues are also signing up live streaming services and making these available so you can watch them from the comfort of your own home, which is a brilliant idea, particularly as we go into the Christmas season, and the TV doesn't look as if it's going to be that brilliant because it hasn't they haven't made a lot of programs this year, obviously because of the COVID situation. So what else have we got coming up? Next Sunday at 6 p.m, that's the 20th of December, there will be a live streamed only carol service of 9 lessons and carols from All Saints Church at Wyke. So that's at 6 o'clock on all the usual channels that you're watching on now. Of course, we've already mentioned on Monday the 21st at 7 o'clock Carols on Your Doorstep WykeRegis, which we hope you will join us for. On Christmas Eve at 4 o'clock, there would normally be a children's balloon service, which is one of those services where the church at Wyke is absolutely full and not even standing room. Unfortunately, with the coronavirus, that can't happen this year, but we are going to stream a children's service, family-friendly, children-friendly short service at 4 o'clock on Christmas Eve, which will be available, and we hope you will join us. Finally, to say on services that midnight mass at All Saints Church will be at 11:30 and Christmas morning service will only be at St Edmund's Church at 10 o'clock on Christmas Day. Now, both of these services are ticket-only events. Now, the reason they're ticket only is because the numbers have to be controlled. At All Saints Church, a maximum of 55 people, and at St Edmund's, a maximum of 25 people. Now, those numbers are far, far lower than what we normally would have at those services. So, you know, there will be pressure for those tickets. The tickets go up. We're going to say on sale, but they're not for sale because they're free of charge on the Parish of WykeRegis website at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and they are basically on a first come first serve basis. But what we would ask is, if you book tickets and you get the tickets and then you decide you can't come, please ring the number on the tickets and release the tickets so that somebody else can come. And of course, also remember that the midnight mass service, as it is from All Saints Church, will also be live streamed. So if you don't fancy coming out in the cold and the dark and wet at 11:30 at night, you can join us virtually from the warmth of your own front room with the fire blazing and a nice glass of port or something with a blanket over your legs, and you can join us comfortably from your own home. So please, if you can't get tickets, don't feel excluded. It is purely because of the numbers for COVID. Please join us by live stream if at all possible. And that's it to say, other than to say that our quiz will be on at 7:30 this evening, and you're all very, very welcome to join that. And of course, we'll be back here at 6 o'clock next Saturday, for our next version of our news. And we look forward to seeing you then. So, other than that, good night for now.